Now, ladies and gentlemen, we move to the culmination of a year of spectacular journalism here in Victoria. And the high point of the night, it is the presentation of the 2023 Gold Quill.
Please make welcome to the stage our principal sponsor, University of Melbourne's Deputy Vice-Chancellor Global Culture and Engagement, Professor Michael Wesley, to present the award. And please also welcome up here our Gold Quill Chair Judge, Heidi Murphy, and the Vice President of the Melbourne Press Club and Senior Journalist at Nine.
First and foremost, before I get underway, can we have a round of applause, please, for our excellent hosts this evening, Alicia and Tom. On behalf of the Melbourne Press Club, I would like to offer my congratulations to all of the winners here tonight and the runners-up, the highly commended, and those of you that took the time to enter. We had a stellar field of entries this year, a record, I think. Nick, was that right? Record number of entries this year. Thank you for being a part of it, for putting your work up. Even if things haven't gone your way tonight, I certainly hope you don't lose the passion, the drive, the interest in our industry, in finding that story, striving constantly for it. A quick note of thanks to each and every one of the judges who gave up their time right through the last month or two to go through each entry, to assess each one and to make a call. If you would like to volunteer to be a judge next year, I'm at table 22. Come past, put your name down. We're always in the market for a few more judges. It's not easy, and especially not easy for me and for my fellow Gold Quill judges, Damon Johnston and Phil Gardner. They're both here with us tonight. We have to look at every single category winner, all of the ones you've seen tonight, and find a way to choose between a cartoon, a 60 minutes expose, a photo up against a series of deeply compelling newspaper articles, a carefully crafted feature piece up against a quick-thinking cameraman, sensitive, well-researched business pieces, innovation, sports, politics. We have to look at them all, and we have to pick the one most compelling, most excellent piece of journalism for the year. We are asked to weigh up the originality of the piece, the initiative of the piece, the relevance, the quality of work, the impact, the follow-up, all through a Victorian lens, because we are the Melbourne Press Club after all. And after a lengthy debate, we did reach a decision. Here to announce tonight's winner of the Gold Quill from our chief sponsor, the University of Melbourne, Professor Michael Wesley, Deputy Vice-Chancellor of the Global Cultural and Engagement at the University of Melbourne. Michael.
Thanks very much, Heidi. On behalf of the University of Melbourne, we are delighted to be affiliated with one of Australia's most important events, celebrating media and the future of journalism. I congratulate all of the winners tonight who over the last 12 months have made an outstanding contribution to journalism. The Melbourne Press Club and the University of Melbourne share similar goals: to make the world a better place and to change people's lives each day through searching inquiry, innovation and rigorous analysis. Journalism, like universities, are a fundamental part of our society, and never more so than now. Both journalism and universities are what I believe are anchor institutions of the truth in our society. And we both do our jobs well. A good example of this are all of the Quill winners here tonight. then it's the public who reap the huge rewards. We are proud to be associated with the Melbourne Press Club. Journalists are the ones ensuring the public has a right to know, telling us stories many would rather us not hear. And in a world where respectful public discourse is vitally important, nights like tonight prove the point that the stronger the journalism, the stronger is our democracy and society. We at the University of Melbourne are pleased we are contributing to making journalism as strong as it can be through our Centre for Advancing Journalism, led by former journalist Andrew Dodd, who is also here tonight. But enough of all of this. Here is the moment we're all waiting for, the announcement of the winner of the Golden Quill. And the winner is John Ferguson of The Australian for Police Investigate Mass Poisoning in Leongatha.
John Ferguson broke the most talked about story of 2023. In journalism's modern era of social media, high-tech, iPhone videos and analytics, Ferguson's story proves nothing counts more than a reporter's competitive edge. This was a good old-fashioned scoop in one of the most competitive beats in this town where nothing stays secret for long. Ferguson stood the story up and broke it online on a Saturday, all the time conscious the clock was ticking. But this was no one-hit wonder. He stayed ahead of the pack with two more exclusives, online and in print, an interview with the now charged woman and a story uncovering key details of her past. These set the agenda for a story which has captivated Australia and the world. This was journalism which celebrates and honours everything the Gold Quill stands for.
Thank you very much. It's a great honour to be up here. I didn't expect to be here, but clearly the judges have done a really good job. I'm going to preface a little bit by saying that it's up to the courts to decide what actually happened. It's very important. I'm not up here to prejudice what comes next. But someone said very accurately earlier tonight that the mushroom story is actually it's actually been a bit of a circus in a way. The other day I went back up to Corumburra for a few days and it's an interesting thing. I grew up in the country, so I understand country people, and I went up to the cemetery and it was it was like a bolt from the blue, because I've got to say that people who know me, I'm a pretty competitive person, and I've loved covering this story. It's a very pretty spot, Corumburra. It's in South Gippsland, if you don't know it. Rolling hills, beautiful country, and what absolutely whacked me over the head was seeing the two graves that are now buried there, which are obviously the three victims. The Pattersons buried together, and Mrs. Patterson's sister buried closely together. People who are my age have buried families, family friends. They know that it takes a while for the dirt to settle. That's happening. This story is actually quite a really complicated, deep story. It's not the circus that a lot of people think it is. The other thing that really stood out for me during those 4 days that I was there, I did, and I've got to say that I am a voyeur. I did sit back off the Baptist church on Mine Street. It's just what we do. You know, we're not great people really, but I sat off it because I wanted to know, well, who's going, what's doing, what cars are they driving, how old are they, who goes to this Baptist church. And Simon Patterson rocked up at one point. Now, it's for the courts to decide what happened, but his this is high-level trauma. It's not I suppose we've all cracked the gags and whatnot, but it's actually, I think there's 4 charges of attempted murder against him. So we're actually dealing with a really complex, it's really sad actually. I went back to this terrible motel there called in Coronabro. It's the only motel. I went back there and I went up to the cemetery, and it really just struck me that to get straight, this is a really sad story. Look, we are nothing. I love journalists and I love journalism. I love you all. Jennifer Kite, there was this great line that Steve Carey said about Jennifer Kite. She'd never bagged anyone. I've bagged everyone, okay? So, and in fact, when I was on the Herald Sun, we had a competition. I think it was during the Commonwealth Games. I said, oh, guys, there was 4 of us sitting there. Oh, it's a bit negative today. Let's see if we can go half an hour without bagging anyone. And we went down the lift and we got just near Bear Brass in South Bank, which was about 4 minutes, and someone bagged someone. Thought, it's kind of what we do really well. We are, as journalists, we are nothing without our bosses, and you can kid yourself how good you are, but if your boss doesn't want to hire you and doesn't want to keep you, you're going to be doing something else. So I want to thank Michelle Gunn, the Editor-in-Chief of The Australian. She's got an amazing journalism story and loves the story, which is just absolutely crucial. But thank you to Michelle. I can be difficult, and anyone who's worked with me knows I can be difficult. So thanks for sticking with me. Damon Johnston, the Victorian editor of The Australian, is a fantastic boss. 12 years editing newspapers at Herald and Weekly Times, that's a long time. And he's got such amazing judgment. The other day we had this cracking story, an absolute ball terror, that related to a very high-profile story, which we've gone, we were jumping up and down and going, he's gone, I won't go too much into it, maybe we just should hold back. And he was just so absolutely right, because the story was right, but if we had published it, we would have been so wrong, in a taste sense, and I think most of you will get that. I want to thank 2 people very, very quickly, because I'm conscious that I can talk. One is Jeff DeLuca, and there's only one person in this room, I think if Steve Price is here, remember him. Jeff DeLuca was my first mentor. I remember him taking me out on the Adelaide News in 1986. He took me out and we got absolutely hammered. I had 2 beers and he had 40. And I said to him, so tell me about journalism. And he said, well, Azaria Chamberlain, he got the first interview with the Chamberlains. And there's a very famous picture of Azaria on the bassinet. He got that. I said, well, so mate, how did you get it? And he said, well, Vicky, I'm pretty sure it was Vicky at the time, he had a few wives, at least 2 anyway. He said, well, I was at the hospital and she was having a baby, and we used to wear these old pages and they'd go beep, 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 beep. And then this message had come across saying, go and buy the, coffee for the editor or whatever. But the message he had when he was in the labour ward was, a dog has taken a baby in Alice Springs, you must go. And he went, and I thought, geez, that is so hardcore, but it goes to show his absolute commitment to what he was doing. And my second mentor is a bloke called Peter Blunden. He's probably not here tonight. I worked for Peter for a very long time. I think I was his longest serving reporter. He was so edgy on news, and I think in many ways he changed the way news was reported in Melbourne. Very quickly, 2 other people I want to acknowledge. Neil Mitchell, there has been no one better in terms of producing news, scoop of the year and all that sort of stuff. But there's probably someone almost, they're on levels. This guy's amazing. Nick McKenzie, I think, of The Age, has been such a great monument to journalism. And these things, if you do it really hard, it comes at personal cost. And, you know, if the other thing I said to a cadet at the office today, look, the thing that will measure you and will make you or break you is how hard you work. And I think that's fundamentally it. Finally, I want to thank the sponsors, University of Melbourne. It's I'm pretty sure this is still right, John Brumby will know, but I think we're sitting in the biggest employer in Victoria under the one roof here. I think Uni of Melbourne's probably the second. It's a massive institution. It provides such important intellectual muscle to how our state works, but also as a massive employer. And finally, I'd like to thank Ashlyn McGee and Nick Richardson from the Press Club. If it weren't for you, this wouldn't happen. So thank you very much, everyone.